Ho ho ho! Good evening, friends and neighbors. This is Santa Claus greeting you on this October 17th, 2025, bringing you today's stories with a warm heart and hopeful spirit on this historic day, 248 years since General Burgoyne surrendered at Saratoga, a reminder that even in the darkest hours, light can break through. My friends, I'm watching with a heavy heart the developments between Ukraine and Russia. President Trump is meeting with President Zelensky today to discuss possible long-range missile supplies, though a planned summit with President Putin casts some uncertainty over this assistance. As I've always said, peace requires both strength and compassion, and my fervent hope is that dialogue leads to an end of this terrible conflict that has brought such suffering to so many innocent souls. Meanwhile, across the globe in Peru, my heart aches for the young people whose peaceful protests for accountability have turned tragic, with one person losing their life and many injured. The government has now declared a state of emergency in Lima. These dear young souls simply want a better future free from corruption, something every child deserves. Turning our gaze to South Asia, we must pray for the families of 7 Pakistani soldiers killed in a suicide attack near the Afghanistan border. This violence came just as a temporary truce between the neighbors expired. How deeply I wish that borders could be places of friendship rather than conflict. In the Holy Land, I'm cautiously hopeful about the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, though challenges remain in returning the remains of those who were taken. Every family deserves to properly mourn their loved ones. This is a most basic human dignity. Let us hold both Israelis and Palestinians in our prayers that they might find lasting peace. On matters of trade, President Trump has expressed that his proposed 100% tariff on Chinese goods isn't sustainable, but feels compelled by China's actions regarding rare earth exports. He still plans to meet with President Xi in South Korea soon. In these complex negotiations, I hope both sides remember that cooperation often brings greater gifts than confrontation. In Washington, former presidential advisor John Bolton faces serious charges related to defense secrets, becoming the third critic of the administration to face such charges in recent weeks. Let us remember that justice must be applied with fairness and without favor, regardless of political differences. The Chinese military, meanwhile, is experiencing significant changes as 2 top leaders have been expelled from the Communist Party in an anti-corruption campaign. General He Weidong and Admiral Miao Hua are accused of serious violations involving large sums of money. Integrity in leadership is essential in all nations, as those who serve should do so with clean hands and pure hearts. In Europe, a Polish court has declined to extradite a Ukrainian suspect in the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage case to Germany, ordering his immediate release. The judge determined there was insufficient evidence and questioned Germany's jurisdiction. These complex international cases remind us how challenging it can be to determine truth and accountability across borders. I'm particularly troubled by news from the Caribbean, where U.S. military strikes against suspected drug vessels have resulted in numerous deaths, though a recent operation reportedly left survivors for the first time. We must always remember that even those accused of wrongdoing deserve dignity and due process. Every life is precious in the eyes of the Lord. In Madagascar, Colonel Michael Rendry-Nerina has been sworn in as president following a military takeover after weeks of youth-led protests over power and water shortages. The previous leader, Andry Rajoelina, refuses to step down despite being abroad. My heart goes out to the people of Madagascar during this uncertain time. May they find stability and the basic services every community needs. Finally, the European Union is working on a drone defense system to be operational by 2027, with EU diplomat Kaja Kallas warning that while Russia has no capacity to launch an attack on the European Union today, it could prepare itself in the years to come. Building defenses while pursuing peace requires wisdom and balance. As I prepare to return to my workshop at the North Pole, I leave you with this thought. In a world of complex conflicts and challenging changes, remember that the greatest gift we can give one another is understanding, patience, and love. Until next time, this is Santa Claus wishing you peace on earth and goodwill toward all.